No, I'm looking at it right now.
All right, hey everyone, Brendan Sider here. Thanks so much for joining me for another Sound Exchange session. Look who's here, Anthony Coviello, wearing his famous Wyoming hat that has appeared in the last 3 videos straight. People are going to start expecting you to wear the hat.
I wear the hat all the time.
But you know what he's not
I
wearing?
lost my other hat.
Is a flannel.
It's still a flannel, it's just a black one.
It's just a solid color.
Yeah, it's still a fucking...
Oh, okay. I should say it's not a plaid flannel.
Yes,
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
wearing...
Again, like the last 3 videos have you in a red and black one. Which
Oh, there's a red and black one on the rack over there. Maybe I should just put that on.
Is that because I commented on it? I saw it over there. I was like,
No,
are
no.
you selling yours?
No, so when I went to... when I went out on vacation and we stopped at a bunch of places,
Oh,
you know, some of the secondhand stores had
right.
flannels. So I just bought them all.
Okay.
I wanted them to get money. They were $5 to $10 bucks.
Well, here you go. If
Here we go, Mr. Anthony.
If you want to look like Anthony, you can actually buy his outfits at the store. A red
So
and black
fucked up.
flannel, and you can get his Wyoming hat. And next Halloween, go as Anthony Coviello. Right? How cool would that be? This, you know, it's going to happen. Someone's going to post a photo on Instagram as Anthony Coviello. Let's start a trend.
I wish I didn't lose my old hat. If
Yeah,
I didn't
right?
lose my old hat, I'd still be wearing that hat.
Right. All in good fun. Anyway,
Yes.
All right, we have to have a good laugh. Obviously, this past week we had the election, and it went the way that it went. But my question regarding it and the mood that is out there is, do we think it's going to affect the music and music industry the way that it did 8 years ago?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I see. We the video we talked about last time. I saw that. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. What did we talk Video last
between
time?
between
Yeah.
the Bush elections
Right,
to today.
Right.
I noticed that for this election, they're not being mean about it,
That's what
which is it's
Exactly.
about time.
It's exactly why I wanted
Tell
to
me
ask
who
this
you're voting
question.
for, but don't be a dick about the person you don't like.
It's so
and they're not.
It's
They're-
so different this time.
Yes, I
8
love
years
it.
ago, it was like middle finger in your face, ha ha, I won, that kind of mentality.
No, I'm not even looking
Oh.
at that. I'm talking about
Okay.
the artists.
Well, I guess I'm going with both sides. I mean, I'm just saying that the general feeling I had, let's put it that way, the feeling I had was sort of, it was I don't know, it was mean, I felt.
I feel like all right, we need to stop this video
Okay.
because my feeling, hundreds of people a week, sometimes thousands of people a week, I never saw that.
What do you mean you never
I
saw?
never saw anybody say ha ha fuck you
Oh, okay.
for
Yeah.
either of the last.
Not artists,
Couple
I'm not talking
elections.
about artists.
I want to only talk about artists.
Okay. My point simply was, I felt after the last election 8 years ago, there was a very different feeling about things. And I felt that albums that started coming out, bands like Bad Religion, drawing a blank on some of the others, made albums in response. And I'm wondering if that's going to happen again.
I think so.
You do, okay.
Because I
But
think it always happens, but I don't feel it was any more than it has been.
Oh, I felt that it was. And I could just be that I was tuned into it differently.
Okay, that's it. Tuned into it differently.
It was just a mindset that I felt, for me, and this isn't anything, I'm not trying to be political on this. I just felt like, oh my God, what's happened? You know, world's going to come to an end, that kind of thing. That was just how I felt about it. And, you know, time passes, 4 years go by, another person comes in, and the world goes on.
The
right?
world has not ended.
It's right.
I
And
saw
it
more-
hasn't ended after this one.
No.
Either. But I feel differently after this one. I sort of feel like, meh.
I feel the same after every election, which is
Meh.
nah.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely comes down.
I get out, I do my responsibility.
Right.
I am
you take
not
your civic
the
duty
main
and-
cause of the outcome.
Right.
What goes on, goes on. I feel there was more reaction after the Bush wins.
Really?
Yeah. But maybe I was more tuned in.
Into that one,
Don't
yeah.
listen to Bad Religion. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I feel every album they make
No, I
is
know.
a protest album about some kind of
Okay.
bullshit that moves them today.
Not to talk about the artist, but just as an a different one, then Neil Young. We know Neil Young. I mean, if you listen to any of the current lyrical content in the last 8 years.
I haven't.
Right. But you are a Neil Young fan.
I'm a Neil Young fan, but I'm gonna. Yeah, you know what? I have.
But you steer clear of that, and that's okay. I just mean
Yeah.
it's out there,
I-
and
you
it's
know-
in artists that you listen to. And I think if Rage Against the Machine were recording albums,
Oh
which they're
man,
not,
thank God they're not.
I know, right? It would be
Because
there.
I just want a record that moves me. I'm tired of
Yeah.
fucking railing. You know what it is? We're middle-aged people.
I know. And
so
we're-
the young people need something to stand for. Not
Correct.
that I don't want something to stand for.
we
But
already-
I want to stand for something that comes from the heart, from the fucking earth.
Yeah.
Something that does good for people.
We already stood for something
That's
20
it.
years ago.
That's- yeah,
we had our middle fingers out
So-
then.
I guess when a lyric starts to take
Yeah.
a political bend,
Yeah.
I walk away from it now because
Mm-hmm.
it does. I don't care.
I want escapism from my music.
Yes.
So, and maybe that's different than I was in my 20s. I don't know. But I definitely feel it more now. And I just know what happened, like I said, 8 years ago. And I got turned off to a lot of the albums because of that. I didn't want to go down the road with that. And so I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. But when I came up with the topic and I first thought we would do this, I thought things would be different. And they haven't been, meaning it's been, like you said, there hasn't been any mean stuff going on. And everyone's, yeah.
And what I said also about the people being mean in the lead up to the election, I was going strictly on artists.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen had a great PSA about his stance, who
Right.
he's voting for.
Right.
His choice, awesome.
Right.
But he wasn't a dick about it.
Right.
Swift wasn't a dick about it.
Right.
Vetter, not a dick about it.
I agree.
Where the past elections, there have been more of these
Right. And
big artists
in my,
just not being cool about it, which is segregating that part of the audience that is voting for the person that you're not
Right.
voting for.
Right.
This time, they were just cool. Like, hey, man, maybe it's a shift in the world.
yeah.
Just,
I think there's still some artists though that are being
Yes.
dicks about things.
I have not come across them. Who?
Ted Nugent.
Oh, you know what? I don't pay attention to him.
Right.
So, but you're right.
But him, and this is, I love his music, and I'm only saying, you know, if you watch in any interviews that he does where he's promoting or talking about that side of things, politics, it can be really mean, and I don't like that. And yeah. So I mean, I don't even want to get into that part of the conversation. It's just simply that, I don't know. It feels different after this, and maybe it's just we're all kind of resigned. We've been through it.
Does it feel
before.
different because we feel different to where we are just okay, man? It's okay. I feel the same way. I feel the same way after every election I voted in.
I have felt different after. I felt different.
I
when-
felt great after Obama.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't feel good after Bush was elected. And again, I'm not a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I'm not trying to
I
shove
am
that
undecided.
Into,
I will
that's
always
fine.
be undecided.
All I'm just
don't
trying to
pick sides.
Yeah, I'm just trying to delineate for people
Yes.
watching. But I'm not knocking the Republicans, and I'm not supporting the Democrats, so to speak. I'm simply saying that's where I lean. So when, quote, my candidate or whatever doesn't win, I feel like, oh, you know, didn't happen. I want it to go a particular way, right? But the way I felt after Bush winning was nowhere near the way I felt after 8 years ago.
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
When Trump
No, it's
won,
still
but
there.
then now,
I'll
8
tell
years
him.
on, I don't feel that way. And like, it may be what you said though, which is I'm 8 years older.
I just don't want to take these things so serious anymore. And I know you the political hard-ons
Well, I think
will
that's,
say, "Oh my God, well then you don't care about your country. You need to take these things seriously. The world's going to end or the world's going to begin." You know what, man? The world's going to go on without us. Maybe our only point here, as people, is just to exist and be weird.
okay. And that's where I kind of going with all this, which is it has become too toxic. The whole thing, whether it's politics in general or how it is infested itself in music. And that's really what we're here talking about. And so for me, I want to remove myself from that and just
Yes.
exist.
Yep.
I don't want to get into any of that. And I guess maybe because I have that mindset, maybe that's why I'm not feeling the way I did 8 years ago.
So you think it's better that you're not feeling the way you did 8 years ago?
No, I actually think it's the entire
No, but do you think it's better that you're feeling
yes,
kind of,
because
it's just-
because it
there's no anxiety?
it weighed so heavy on me at that time.
Now it's just, hey man,
And I have to say this, for any of those people that are out there watching it that are having that feeling, because I've experienced it through some of my friends, that my boss at the time, 8 years ago, who 25 plus years older than me, so he goes back, you know, many, many years through living through Richard Nixon and other presidential candidates that were problematic. And I was talking to him and I was just like, oh, whoa, what am I going to do, right, kind of thing. And he says, look, we'll get through it. It's 4 years. Things change. And he said, yeah, it seems bad now. And then he told me a story about what he went through in the candidates and stuff. And he says at that time, he goes, I felt the same way. And you know what? I'm still here. I still made it through.
The world's still here. Everything's still
that's right.
here.
World's still here. Everything turned. We moved. We're on from it. And that really changed my mindset to look at it differently and say, okay, and it is for a finite amount of time. The world's not going to end.
And if it does, you know what? Maybe exist and have the best day you can have.
It's
simple.
I've often thought, when it was like Y2K and other things, it was like, oh, we're going to go back to the Stone Age, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, kind of stuff. I've often thought, like, well, if it does, it does, and then we will just figure out how to
figure it out. Maybe
figure
it'll
out
be fun.
Yeah. No.
Instead of walking through the same freaking thing every day, every second.
I was like, well, what will I do if there's no electricity? I can't listen to music. And then it was like, well, I'll break out my guitar
make
and
some.
play. Yes, I'll make some. That was my thought. So I'm thinking out of all of this, it's like we just have to make the best of it.
Make the best of good day.
And if I have to pull back from what's going on in the world in order to have the best day, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And if artists, if you guys still want to make protests, whatever you
protest
feel,
songs,
do it.
Right.
You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have to listen to it, and the guys that do care can listen to it.
And
that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. And I'll probably buy those albums regardless, and I will
You gonna buy
decide.
Bad Religion album?
Yeah, I love Bad Religion personally. I grew up with them, and I still.
So did I. Makes me not like them even
the
more.
funny thing is this, and it's not lyrical content per se. It's the energy in the music. Wednesday morning after the election, on the train going to work, I don't know why I haven't listened to them in ages. I pulled out Bad Religion, and it made me feel better.
Okay.
But it was just the energy in it. It's not lyrical content.
They're the punk rock AC/DC. It's the same record over and over and over and over again. And the shit that bothers me about Bad Religion is what I love about AC/DC.
Okay, but that was the funny thing, because after that I moved into a whole AC/DC kick. So the two bands that got me through this past week have been Bad Religion and AC/DC, and you're right. But it is the same record. It's that same 3-chord rock and roll, just played slightly differently. And that's what I needed. And again, I know Bad Religion, totally political in everything that they do, whereas AC/DC not. They're just about having a good time and rock and rolling. But I did need some mindless rock music, and that's what I did. That's what got me through it. And music for me will always save the day.
I've been listening to High Viz and the Morgan Wade Obsessed record. Those two records
getting you through
repeat
everything
for the last 3 weeks. Since that High Viz record came out, even since that Morgan Wade record came out.
I've been hearing
I'm
you
on
play
them
it.
probably once a day.
What's the name of the record? Just so people watching know.
Guided Tour.
Guided Tour.
You got to get the new High Viz record. HIGHVIS. High Viz. Guided Tour.
And then Morgan Wade.
Morgan Wade's Obsessed.
Last video we did, bunch of people, you'd commented about Morgan Wade.
My
said,
goodness.
oh, Anthony, you turned me on to them.
Yo,
So
Morgan Wade is that.
I know.
First record's awesome. Middle record, the
Okay.
new record, the third, Obsessed.
Good. Okay.
Shit.
I'm
My goodness. Except for that song with, how do you say her name? Keisha?
Kesha.
Something with a dollar sign, whatever.
Oh, that's right. Did she take the dollar sign out?
I don't know.
Oh.
But, so the song's good. I don't know. That's the only weak point for me.
Yeah,
But, and then the High Viz record, front to back, man. That
Great.
is a straight through.
That's
Awesome.
cool, man.
So that's been getting me through.
Okay,
You
cool.
had Bad Religion and AC/DC.
And AC/DC, right, exactly. And tell me what got you guys to. I'd be really curious. I don't know. Who do we got?
Sound Exchange. Bye.
Wrong number, but they were nice. And
Yeah,
they,
man.
And they answered right away.
Oh, they did.
Right?
Oh, man. Maybe that's why I was so nice.
Yes, right. That's why you didn't have a problem with it.
Sound Exchange.
That's right. If you don't say hello, like I
Sound
think,
Exchange.
I think that is a whole different.
Is anybody there?
Right.
Sound Exchange.
Type of.
Oh, hi. Is this Sound Exchange? Fuck you, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you. Why does it bother me so much? Right? The state of the world, whatever. Let the fucking world burn. But
Because they're
they're
wasting your time.
yeah.
That's what it is, right?
They are wasting my time. I am not wasting my time with the bullshit that affects other people.
Yes.
Boom. So think about that for our lives.
Right. We've talked about being awareness of what's going around you, right?
You'll be happier if you don't waste your time bothering with what bothers other people.
Yes. You gotta let it go.
Skid Row, wasted time. Another great record.
That is a good record. I should
My
listen
God,
to some of that.
Slave to the Grind. Never
So-
a bad moment for Slave to the Grind. And I don't give a shit. Beggars Day, get the fuck out. I love them both.
Oh, I love both those.
They're both great.
Why did they not reissue it and put that track on there? You know, the box set they did, they didn't put it on there. I know, right? I mean, I know what it is. It has to do with the, what is it, the 25 year, and when they get the rights back, they get it back at 25. Yeah, anyway, that's coming this year.
Oh, another reissue? No.
Yeah, right?
Fuck me.
So anyway, guys, let us know what music has gotten you through, whether you're celebrating or you're not. What is the music that got you through this past week? And
I don't want to know. I don't care.
He doesn't
because
care. I care.
I am
But-
not going to read those comments
Yeah, yeah.
because I don't want anything.
Well,
I want you to have your opinion and believe in what you believe in.
let's
But I don't want anything political based to affect my life.
no, absolutely, absolutely, and let's PSA this in the sense that it's my channel. I run it, meaning Anthony doesn't read the comments and respond to the comments. So some of you guys that ask questions specifically for Anthony, don't be mad when he doesn't respond because he's not even getting notifications or know that those questions are out there. So I try to respond where
Good one, guys.
I try to respond where I can on his behalf for those, or let people know that Anthony doesn't read the comments. But
I do sometimes, but
Yeah.
on this particular one, because there's a
Yeah.
political bend to it,
Yeah.
I want.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and that's nothing against anybody or anything.
No, I know you're just removing
I
yourself.
am just removing myself from something that will affect my life negatively, whichever way you go.
Because there will be that person that will take offense to what we have said here and put comments in there that will rub both of us the wrong way.
Yep.
When neither of us are saying a negative thing one way or the other. Even when I talk about Ted Nugent, I still love Ted Nugent. I just don't like what he says, and that should be okay.
That is okay.
I should be allowed to say that.
Which is where the
Yeah.
world needs to go.
Right.
It's okay. It's not your shit. It's their shit.
Right.
Let them have it.
And that was my final question on this thing, which is, do we think people are going to be more accepting or continue down that divisive road that we've been on?
I think they're going to be more accepting.
I
I'm
hope
taking
so.
the glass is always half full.
I hope so.
They're going to just say, okay, man, this is cool.
Right? And I feel like so far that's what we've experienced. It's only been, like 4 days or something, but I just feel like people are like, okay, it is what it is. And I hope that rolls over into everything else. So, you guys take care. Don't let it get to you. Keep your chins up. Celebrate if you want to. It's all good. Don't be a dick and don't force it down other people's
just be
throats.
yourselves.
Be yourselves, exactly. See ya.